All right, let's take a look. All right, your man against man. And who is host? He's host. All right, so mirror of host is hard. So let's see. He picked land and you didn't pick anything. That's good. So let's see. All right, he's going with forward racks and you as well. Nothing out of the ordinary. All right, he didn't spy. That's very well, very good from him. He should not spy if he has land. And you have no power yet, so that's good. All right, let's see. So you're going with another farm, and he as well. He's going pikes, and you are going soldiers. All right. At the moment, you have the advantage. Let's see how it turns out. All right, he's not going to creep. And he's spamming soldiers, and you are going soldiers as well. All right. That's not bad. I think you should clump it from behind. Because, well, it will take them longer to walk there. But that's okay. I think you'll get it with the second soldier. However, he's now creeping. And what are you doing? You're going more soldiers. Alright, this barracks is going down. And he's going with archery range. That's a bad move. You should not go archery range as your second building in man mirror, because cavalry is way better choice. But so far so good. Alright. Alright, he's retreating. Alright, that's nice. You know that he's creeping, so your builder is there. That's very well done. And let's see. Well, you took one. That's good. That's not bad. So he's going with archers. He's not using stances. So that's bad. Anyway. So far you're winning. So what will he do? He's going with archers. Now, if you see archers, you should not fight here. And you're not doing that, so that's good. And let's see. Alright. And you're going with a stable. That's a good choice. Alright, still spamming soldiers, not bad. Let's see, command points. He has 300, you have 400. So you're ahead. And you didn't pick PowerPoint yet, that's good. So he cannot use land, but you can still pick rallying call if needed, that's good. Alright, he's creeping. And you should take care of that creep. But he's sending archers there too. Alright, you're not doing too bad. Your movement all over the map is good. Let's see, you should now make knights. Alright, knights are made. That's well done. Alright, so at the moment you are clearly winning. Alright. Okay, that's a little bit of a loss, but that's not a problem. So you're retreating your units, that's well done, and your knights are going there too, is good, and you're creeping. So you're doing well for now. Okay. Oh well, that's a shame that he was able to creep it. But you could not... you should have just stalled more time maybe, but that's not a problem. You're still ahead at this point. And what is he doing? He's just defending. Alright, so he lost the pikes. Alright, you creeped as well. Let's see. Alright, he's going with pikes because he knows you have cavalry. And at the moment, let's see, he has 500 and you have 550. Alright, so you should now harass this side and maybe get more cavalry. Or are you going for heroes? Let's see. He is going for heroes, I think. He will now make Boromir or maybe Eomer. Eomer is a good choice. Yes, he's making Eomer. Alright, that's a little bit of a loss. Okay, so Eomer will be a problem. But you should get yourself an Eomer as well. Alright, you already got Boromir, that's good. And you have almost enough for Eomer. So you should get Eomer definitely to support your cavalry. You're creeping well. And you're harassing well. Alright, you have 2000. Are you going for Aragon? Let's see. Alright, he creeped another one. So this is his third creep. Well, this one you got one treasure. And he got 2 creeps. And there is Eomer to counter your cavalry. That's well done. But you almost have Aragon. Alright, and at the moment he is gaining some upper hand because he has advantage in power. Actually you're equal. Alright, but you are losing units to those archers, which should not happen. You should, with your cavalry, you should be focusing more on trying to kill those archers, because they're the main problem. Because you cannot harass without with them present, so you should try and make him try and protect them with those slow pikes, and you should be able to get to kill at least some of them, or put him under pressure, because now his archers did not have to face much cavalry, so that's a problem. And yeah, well, Eomer is he's not affected by knockback of Boro, so you will lose once again your army here, and now he's gained advantage in power points, a slight 1 point. Alright, but you have Aragon. Now you have to push him back, and he has Boromir as well. Alright, this is good. As you can see, he cannot micro those archers well, so you should be pressing more, you should be trying more to do this kind of stuff. And you can see you gained a lot of power points. That's very important. Right, he now will take down your stable, I believe. Alright, that was a nice catch. But he took down your stable anyway. But you have more money. So you should now go for Eomer and another stable and get maybe some Rohirrim. He got stable as well now. Alright. Yeah, so first tip I can give you is, if you're going for cavalry or you need to counter cavalry in Man Mirror, you should always go with Eomer as your first hero, because one thing he does is give your cavalry 50% more armor, which means that your cavalry is almost near him, is always on land. It is the same effect as land, basically. So they will be very hard to kill. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that you will counter enemy cavalry better, because the spear throw is very effective against cavalry. And Eomer is also faster than knights. So that's well as well. But you are still having an upper hand. And his main thing is the Eomer actually. He has nothing. Well, now he has Aragon, but he's causing biggest problems with Eomer. And as you can see, one spear throw kills half the battalion almost. Alright. So let's see, his Aragon is level 1. Yours level 4. Alright. Alright, so when you're fighting Aragon with Blade Master, you should use defensive stance, because it will give you 75% armor, which is maximum amount of armor. And with defensive stance, you will definitely destroy this Aragon on neutral or on aggressive. Most people don't do that, but defensive stance is way better. So this is a bit of a mistake, and it's actually a big mistake, because it will cost you the battle. You would have had way more health than him if you use defensive stance. Because defensive stance combined with double armor, which is what you gain with Blade Master, it will give you way more armor than normal. It scales really incredibly fast with double armor. So you should always use defensive stance with double armor. So that's that. Anyway, let's see, what are you making? You have Rohirrims, that's good. And you're making pikes, alright. So he's near his base, he's camping. Because he cannot come out, and he has no pikes at the moment. So a couple of horses would be good. All right, let's see. Your Boromir is now on level 5, so you gain the leadership. So now, basically, rallying call is useless because it does not stack. If you have Boromir, you cannot use rallying call. It will not help you. It will be the same. If you have Boromir on level 5, I mean. Alright. But for some reason, he's not using his land, which he should be, because you don't have land at the moment. Alright. Okay, this is an important battle. You cannot lose this battle. You have to run away and use Blade Master and defensive stance if you cannot outrun your opponent. Alright, that was a big loss. It should not have happened. But I understand, because he's on host, so it is more harder to micro. Alright, you got yourself an Eomer. I believe it's slightly too late, because now there are higher tier heroes out there. Alright, and now you're in trouble, because those archers, those were from the beginning of the game. You can see level 6, level 5, level 4, level 4. That's very important. He saved his units well, and now it's paying off, because they deal way more damage and they don't die as quickly, especially because of the banner carriers. So now you have a problem. You should have killed those archers early on with cavalry instead of harassing, because, well, you can see now they're dealing very much damage, combined with Aragorn leadership, and, well, he doesn't have Boromir leadership yet, luckily. Alright, so your main problem this game was you wasted a lot of units, and that should not happen. As you can see, those higher level units are very important, because those archers, they deal too much damage now. Alright, he has 1000 and you have 875. Also, one thing, you should get banners on your fort to make those heroes cheaper, as well as gain more, what's it called? Leadership? Well, buff. a damage buff. And he has flaming arrows. Well, I don't think that's very useful. But it's alright. Okay. So yeah, this is now an unstoppable army. You have now to counter. You have now to gauge yourself a big army before you try to counter it. Don't try and rush them. Just get yourself some army and counter it. However, you should go for knights at the moment to deal with those archers, because Rohirrim don't trample as well as knights. Okay, so he's doing well. This is very well. He's now using his Rohirrim with Eomer, and they gain the double armor. However, he's not using stances, so that's bad. Alright, that's nice Bombadil. You should kill those archers because they're level 5. Alright, he's using land. You should counter the land. Alright, you counter the land, that's very well. Okay, his... you won this battle, definitely. Because he didn't deal much damage, and he will lose the Boromir. If you micro correctly. Alright, but... he's winning at the moment because... he's on the offense. Alright. And you should definitely get some knights to deal with those archers. Alright, did you see? Now you're using Eomer leadership with defensive stance, and you had a disadvantage in numbers and you won this battle because he was using neutral stance. As you can see, defensive stance with double armor is very powerful. You should always use it. You should not. Actually, you would have lost this battle if you were on any other stance than defensive. But defensive stance with double armor is very overpowered, so you should always use it if you have the chance. Anyway, you're pushing him back, so what you should do now... Alright, you got banners, that's good. Let's see, what's your money? Alright, your money is decent. You should try and go for marketplace at this point, because it will improve your economy by a lot. Alright, you pick this arrow volley. Alright, nice use. Oh, but they're level 5, so they are immune to Horn. So that's why you have to kill those high level archers early on. You don't let them get to that level. Alright, defensive stance, and you would have won this battle. So one big thing to remember: if you get double armor, no matter with what, with Theoden, with Eomer or with Aragorn himself, you should always use defensive stance, because it gives so much more armor than normal. Anyway. Alright, you cannot outrun them, I believe, but you can get this Eomer into pikes. But you're in trouble once again. Let's see command points. Yeah, he's way ahead in command points. And that is because he has higher level units. And he's saving his units well, and that's the main difference between you two. You are losing units very quickly, while he's saving his units well. You can see level 7, and that's very important. You should not underestimate it. Higher level units are way better than new units. Alright. Well, I think you should not have quit yet, because your opponent is not very experienced player. He might have made some mistakes, so you should not have quit. Because if you lost this game because of a couple of one or two mistakes, you lost your Aragon early on, and that was a big mistake. But if you did not lose him, you would have been winning, and that's why you should not. That's why you should not quit as early, even though you're behind in the game. You should not quit, because he has to first finish you, and that can be very tricky for some people. If you're defending well, and an unexperienced player might make some big mistakes. All right, let's take a look at another one. Elven Mirror. Okay, let's see. All right, you're on the host, so you have advantage, and you're going the same strategy as him. Let's see. You used Scout and he used Scout as well. That's nothing out of the ordinary, no problem. Alright, Archer. And you're going Archer 2. Let's see, 2 archers. You're going to creep middle, and he's going to creep this one. Right. Alright, he's going to creep this one. You're going to... Alright, you're trying to intercept him. That's not a bad idea. You're on host, you have advantage. Your archer should be on aggressive stance, to be honest. Alright, he has second archer battalion, and you're going from the other side. Alright, okay, that's very smart what he's doing. He's hiding in the trees, because he is expecting you to intercept him. And now you will lose your builder, but you might kill him if you target him. Alright, you should Alright, now you should retreat. It's 2 against 1. You should run away. Alright, that's very bad. You should not have lost this archer. But it's not a game over yet. Okay, so now you know he's creeping here. You should not creep this troll, because he has 2 archers and he will be faster. So I think he will intercept, because troll has very high health. This as well, what you're doing here. Alright, you should now spam more archers, and you may not lose this builder. Alright, that's bad. And now he will catch you off guard here as well, because troll has high health, but you have a second archer, so... Oh, and he's not doing that. That's very stupid from his part. He should have gone this way. He should not try and counter the middle now. But... Alright. Alright, so you creep 1. But you lost the builder, so you cannot expand as fast. And that's a big thing. Right, he's going cavalry, and you're not going anything because you don't have a second builder. Okay. Okay. That's not bad. That's smart what he's doing. He's having 1 archer to hold guard. However, he should put them in the trees, because that will catch you off guard if you walk right here, and he will shoot from behind and deal more damage from behind. Alright. So now you should prepare for cavalry, and you're doing that. That's very good. And he is very cautious. He's not risking his archers. He knows he's off host. And he's playing well, but you're not doing too bad either. You creep 2. And he creep 2. And you have bigger army at the moment. but he has cavalry coming. So that will be a big difference in this game. Alright, so you see now this builder, losing that builder was very big impact, because you cannot expand this fast. You have only one builder, and you can see that he has cavalry now, and he has more expansion than you, I believe. You have 350 and he has 500. That's a big difference early game. That's because he has 2 builders and you only one, and he also has cavalry. So at the moment you should try and, yes, expand some more. That's important. But you should, well, you're going to creep, so that's not the problem. Alright, so now you have a problem because he has cavalry and the same, well, not the same amount of army as you. You have a better army because he has 2 pikes, and those 2 pikes are useless. And he's going for Lorian warriors, not a good call either. But he has cavalry, and cavalry can change everything. But you're engaging in the battle. He has Farsight and you don't. What? Where did he use Farsight on? Did he use it on his archers? I don't think so. What the fuck? Where did he use it on? Alright, that's weird. I think he maybe used it here. He used it on your archers. He doesn't know how Farsight works. He should have used it on his own archers. But he won this battle regardless, and that's because of cavalry. Is this your Haldir? Yeah, that's your Haldir. My recommendation is to go for Arwen as your first hero in Elves, because especially if you don't have cavalry, because it will give you some kind of harassment. And now you don't have that because you only had archers and Haldir is not as good in harassing. Alright, you should save this archer. It's a level 3 archer, and you know what leveled up units do. As you can see, that's what he's doing well. He has almost dead battalion, and he's bringing to the fort. That's very well done. You should always try to do that as well. If those 2 units will not deal any damage on their own, so get them to the fort, get some healing structure or maybe fort heal structure up, and get those units healed. That's important, especially in Elven Mirror, because units are important. And this archer should not die, but I think it will. Or maybe not, because that's annoying. Those no, but he will kill you. Alright. So now you have no army, and now you're going for cavalry, but that's too late. And he's going Haldir as well. It's a mistake. He doesn't need Haldir. He should go for Arwen and harass you more, because you have nothing to stop Arwen at the moment. But Haldir is not bad either. He knows he holds the advantage, and he's going Treebeard, and that will be a problem for you, because he has bigger army, he has better leveled up army, and he has cavalry and you don't. So that will be a difference. But you have a level 4 Haldir with leadership, and he doesn't. He has level 1 Haldir. Alright. Okay, let's see. So this game, your problem was losing this one battle and losing your builder early on. That was a big problem for you. You could not deal well after the builder loss, because you could not expand as fast as your opponent. And yeah, well, he also got the creeps faster, because you lost this battle here also. And this is what made the difference. And now let's see how you will deal with this Treebeard. I don't think you can because, well, he has too big of an army. And as you can see, once again, he's bringing those knights to heal very well. And you should do that too, but you are not in a position to do that at the moment. Alright. Oh, and he managed to take down your barracks too. Okay. Yeah, well now it will be a big deal to deal with this Treebeard. Let's see. Yeah, he's also ahead in power points, and now those archers will kill your pikes. So you should kill his. Well, you don't have enough army to deal with his Treebeard, and he has cavalry, and you don't, and that's a big problem. Well, to be honest, this game you should not have lost this battle right here. And you should not have lost this one right here, the big one, where you lost all your army. Well, it will be too late, because, yeah. What? Why are you not dead yet? Oh, yeah, you have barracks here. Yeah, well, in both games your problem is your decisions, which lose you your army. You should not fight those battles, and that's the problem. You're fighting battles that you are not sure that you can win, and even if you already are losing, don't try and stay and deal some damage. Just run away and well, limit your losses. That's important too, because if you the archer you lost early game, the first one, if you saved it, it would still be half an archer maybe, or maybe 1/4 of an archer, but it's better than no archer, and you will not give him that much level up. And yeah, well, that's basically it. You should really try better to not lose your units. Alright, then let's watch the third one. Let's see. Samwise. Alright, your goblins. But he's on host, so that's fair. I think Isengard on host is equal to goblins. But goblins on host are way better than Isengard. Alright, so you're starting goblin and a tunnel. That's not a bad start. But he's starting barracks and a furnace. So let's see. Why are you starting with a tunnel and a goblin? And a cave, I mean. Are you going? If you're not going to forward tunnel, then this is not necessary. Then you should just go 2 tunnels and a cave. But I'm not going to speak for too fast. Alright, you're going with a forward tunnel, I think. So that's good. And he's going with a soldier. Alright. So you're both making the right move, in my opinion. However, I'm no Isengard expert, but I do know about gobs. Okay. So you're scouting him, and he did not scout you. So this is very risky what you're doing. You're off host and you're scouting your opponent with bats. In this case it turned out okay because he's Isengard, but you should not scout him, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm not going to say all experts should not do it. I'm saying you should not off host, because if he was man and he used land on your base, you could not deal with the spam early game. Well, he would not use the correct stance on land because most people don't. You should use defensive stance on land. But it would give you big problems, especially because you scouted just, and now he would have soldiers here with land if he was man. Or if he was dwarves with rallying call. And he's using correct stances here. So he's now at the moment winning the battle, and you didn't take this furnace down. Okay, so one tip I can give you: a furnace near the fort, you cannot take it down with one goblin warrior. Only unless it's not defended. So if in the beginning of the game you should go look for furnaces that are not near the fort. Alright, you defended here well. He's lost his Uruk without dealing much damage. And he is going with aggressive start again. And he's going with wargs. Alright. So this is not bad. Well, you're getting an archer, that's good. So you should just now take out all of those goblins. And yes, you're doing well. You should attack him from behind too. And on aggressive stance, that's good. So he's going with more soldiers. Alright, so at the moment he's wasting his units. I would say that you're winning, but you're not dealing any damage to him. And that is also a big deal early on. But it does not matter much because he's wasting his units. But he will now have wargs, and you are not prepared for wargs. So you should already have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, you should 7. You should have a fisher. I don't suggest links. I should suggest fisher. After 5 tunnels maybe versus Isengard, because Isengard will know that you're goblins, and everyone knows that goblins are spamming faction, so he will make wargs, and you should know that. You should be prepared for that, and now you're not prepared, and links don't counter wargs as well. They're faster than wargs, but they cannot protect your army from wargs, and that's a big problem. So now you're going fisher too. Alright, but I think you should just go fisher, and those links is a waste of resources, in my opinion, at the moment. Alright, you should delete this. Okay, and he's dealing some good damage with those wargs. And now you will see, well, you should counter those wargs with those links. Yes, that's right. But now you will see that it takes too long to kill wargs with links. And if he uses Howl, wargs actually win against links. So that's why you should go fissure. At this point you should have went with one troll maybe, to protect yourself better against swords. And trolls also deal good damage against wargs too. But, well, I think, yeah, as you can see with Howl, they win, and Howl cannot be debuffed. Or are you debuffing him? Yes. Howl cannot be debuffed, so it debuffs the units, but it doesn't cancel Howl. So that's why he won. And your links don't have Howl, so that's why they dead. And that's why you go Fisher early on, because half trolls don't fuck around. They just rape those wargs immediately. Okay, at this point you gave him too much space. Your expansion is good, but you have no units, and he has more units than you, and that's not acceptable in Goblin against Isengard. You should always be way ahead in unit count of your opponent. Well, maybe you did have more units, but not not in terms of money, let's say that. You should be at least equal in the money count. So he has, well, this warg is dead, but he had like three wargs and two soldiers. That's like what, 1500, that's 2k, and you had maybe two links and maybe 7 or 8 of those guys. So that's not nearly enough, and that's a problem. You should be having more units than Isengard at this point of the game. And once again, you're losing your units too easily. You should not lose them this easily. But you also went for links, and that's not the best strategy in my opinion. Links are good if your opponent is rushing wargs. Then links are directly countering those wargs, because he's only rushing wargs and he cannot outrun the links. But if your opponent went with barracks, then links are not that great, because he can just mix some crossbows and pikes and deal with those links. Alright, once again you can see that Howl completely destroys links, but you're not fighting, so that's good. But your game is not lost at this point. However, you need to counter those wargs, but most importantly, you're not aggressive enough. You're too defensive, and goblins should be aggressive. I have a replay of me playing goblins against Isengard, against the best Isengard in the game, in my opinion, Scorpion. And it was neutral host. And it was not easy game, it was a pretty long game, but I only won because I was dealing damage all the time. Okay, he now has Saruman, so now you're fucked. You have nothing to counter Saruman. If he has Saruman, you should already have either upgrades, or he should be camping in his base right now. He should not have those tunnels here at all. So to deal with Saruman, you need Gorkil and Shelob, because Shelob at level 6 is very good against Saruman, against any hero actually. Alright, those links are dealing decent damage, and those wargs don't have Howl, and you have poison, so you will kill those wargs easily enough. Alright, so his Saruman is out of position. You should try and deal as much damage as you can. Now he's not in position, but alright. Okay, this is important that you kill this warg battalion. It's level 5. Alright. Okay, this is a terrible mistake. Aggressive stance on land. Horrible mistake. On defensive stance, you would be easily taking this down and this as well, if not debuffed. But no, he has no debuff. So always remember, on land, which is double armor, always defensive stance, no matter what. Only reason not to do defensive stance is if you have double armor advantage from something else like Faramir or Gimli or something like that. But on land, always defensive stance. Defensive stance would rape those buildings easily. So that's a waste. That you're on aggressive stance is a waste. Never be on aggressive on land. That's very important. Alright, let's see. So he's... Alright, you got Gorkil, that's not bad. Also Gorkil has Totem, which is also double armor. And if you use that and your units next to it on defensive stance, you will gain massive advantage. Alright, now your links are debuffed. But he has no howl, so I think you should be fine. And actually, he is fucking up right now because he has no units. And he has no economy. So you're doing well. His only thing is Saruman. And to counter him, you should spam more goblins. And also a good thing to do is spam goblin archers, because they are trample resistant. And those poison arrows deal pretty decent damage against heroes. Alright, so you're not making units, that's bad. You should be making units while your opponent is down, which he is now. He has now less units than you. And he's also not very strong economically. And you took over this half, and he has nothing on this half, so you have a good advantage here. You should use it. You should make units. And you're still not making units. Well, you're making half trolls, but there is no reason not to spam goblins, to be honest. You should always spam goblins. Especially against Isengard, because, well, those goblins, you can always use them. You can always either defend with them or attack with them. But maybe you're saving, even if you're saving for a hero or something, goblins are only 75 cents. Just don't queue them up. Just click one, and then it will not make a difference if you're saving up for a hero or something. It's still worth it to always make goblin warriors. There is no reason not to make them. In this matchup especially. Because, well, if you had one goblin warrior, you can send him here, and you can send one here just to scout, or if he has something, always make goblin warriors. That's another tip. There's no reason not to make them. Especially at this point in the game where 75 resources is nothing at this point. So also, alright, he got Lurtz. So Lurtz is always a trouble for everything. Lurtz is always a good hero to go. No matter who you play or what you play, Lurtz is always... He either deals with heroes or cavalry or army, or he gives leadership. Lurtz is just OP. Well, not on this patch, but still, he is a very good hero. Especially combined with Saruman. Anyhow, so yeah, alright, you got Shelob. Alright, now that Lurtz is on the battlefield, it will not be enough to deal with Saruman and Lurtz as well, but it will be enough to deal with Wargs mostly. And if Saruman and Lurtz are not together, you can deal with one of them. Alright, and now you're spamming goblins, so that's good. And you're not using the spider pit, which you should not use, because spiders are useless at this point. He doesn't have any crossbows, and well, there is now heroes, there is now pikes, and you don't need those spider links anymore. So, alright, this is used. This is very good. But, once again, not the right stance. When you use it, you should be on defensive. Your unit should be on defensive. Unless you have... where is your Gorkil? Unless you have Gorkil leadership, which gives you another 25 armor, then you should be on neutral stance, because 75 armor is the maximum. So this will give you 50, and Gorkil will give you 25, and it will be maximum armor. And maximum armor should be your main goal. If you can get it, you should always get it, no matter what you're losing. If you're losing damage, that doesn't matter. You still... Maximum armor is still way better than any kind of damage, because armor scales in different way. Armor scales way faster. So you should always go for armor instead of damage, if you can get the maximum. Alright. You quit here. I think you quit too early, for one simple reason. You only need to survive until Balrog. When you have Balrog, you can take down his fortress, no problem. Because Balrog, if you only focus on fortress and you hit all those, what you call it, ignite and whip every time. So you ignite, whip, hit fortress, ignite, whip, hit fortress, until the fortress is done. Even if the fortress is fully upgraded, you will still be able to take it down. So, if you're goblins, you should never quit until you have Balrog. And if your Balrog failed and your opponent is overwhelming you, then you should quit. But if you can survive till Balrog, you should always survive till Balrog. Anyway, I hope you found some tips in this long video. And if you need any more help, let me know.